So welcome everyone to the Infosys presentation about their graduate program. My name is Tyree Barnett. I work for the Careers and Student Employment Service at Macquarie. Joining us from Infosys is Amanda Suber. She works in campus recruitment along with her colleague Sathya, who also works in campus recruitment as well. I'm just going to do a very quick introduction to country, and then I'll toss over. So want to acknowledge the traditional owners of the Macquarie University land, the Willamatical clan of the Dharug Nation. We pay respects to the elders and knowledge holders who have and continue to share their wisdom and knowledge, nurturing and sustaining our environments, cultures, and education. Just while I'm here, actually, I'll go back one and just let you know that please keep your audio muted, just for the Zoom protocol. And ensure that your video feed is on if possible. I am recording this presentation just for those that cannot make it, as well as for yourself if you'd like to review it later. If you don't want to risk appearing on camera, I doubt you will unless you ask a question. Otherwise, you can turn off your video, it's fine. Please be guided by Amanda's prompts for questions. There will be time for questions toward the end. Otherwise, use the chat function at any time to ask a question, and either myself or Sathya, depending on the nature of the question, can answer it in chat during the presentation. I'll now stop sharing and toss it over to Amanda and Sathya. Thank you so much for your time.
Thank you. Hi, everybody. My name is Amanda. I am the campus recruitment lead for Infosys here. Very informative and express some interest. Just jump in and share my screen. So can everyone see?
Yes, just to let you know, Amanda, sorry, that intermittent audio issue's back, so unfortunately.
Okay. Well, let me know if it happens throughout the presentation, but like Tyree mentioned, if there's any questions or if you've missed anything, feel free to pop it in the chat and Sathya will respond accordingly. And like we said, there's also questions at the end. So hopefully if the audio now stays good, we should avoid that, but we'll see. But Infosys, so Navigate Your Next is our branding, if you will. We are across 50 countries globally with over 250,000 employees, 1,600 clients with over 40 years worth of service. So we are definitely very in with the IT industry and the space, and we have clients of all kinds and IT streams of all kinds as well. So we definitely tried and true in the industry with a wealth of knowledge. So when it comes to unis such as Macquarie, we partner with many all across the APAC region or internationally as well, of course. But I am specific to APAC, so that is Sydney, Melbourne, Canberra, Brisbane, Perth, and also Auckland in New Zealand. So they are the areas that and locations that I will be focusing upon it today. So just to give you a little bit more of an understanding of, if you are interested with Infosys, where you may potentially be placed in the opportunities that we can provide. So we do work with 3 of the top 4 banks within Australia. Financial services is definitely one of our leading industries that we work with, along with insurance, healthcare, and all that. Of course, communication, media, and technology. We strongly work within, as well as things like manufacturing, retail, services, utilities, energies, and also the public sector. So we definitely can provide opportunities, projects, and exposure to many different industries across all fields. So that's really exciting, especially from a graduate point of view, to really get an understanding of what is out there and what we can offer. So when it comes to the actual streams of IT that you could work within, as you can see there on the screen, data analytics, cybersecurity, ERP, cloud, a lot of testing. We do specialize in testing quite a lot. Then like creating apps, all that, artificial intelligence. So I am very conscious that artificial intelligence and cybersecurity are most likely a very high interest to many of you. It is definitely a exciting space within the IT industry. So as mentioned, this is specific to campus and the graduate program. Our next intake date, we're doing expressions of interest currently for the early 2023. So Sathya, if you could please share the link within the chat so everybody can take a look at the opportunities that we are currently providing, and if you would like to express an interest in that, feel free to apply. The main eligibility that will be focused upon is you need to be graduated or have all your subjects completed prior to the start date in which we will eventually like make solid. So if you don't graduate till end of 2023, then just take this as an opportunity to get an understanding of like potential options for you in the future. But if you do graduate at the end of this year or early next year, definitely apply through that link because you'll be eligible to do so. So with applying, so the link, if you apply through the link, it's an online application. We just need to fill in some information. No cover letter is required. Simply just update your CV. So when you do apply online, there's also a big job description which will give you in-depth information into what we do offer on a graduate level. So then one of my team, Sathya included, will be then giving you a call to determine further eligibility, as well as find out what you're looking for and if there's a mutual desire to work with Infosys and really get an understanding of what you're at, what you're looking for, and then what we can provide for you. So after that discussion, someone within my team will then send you a link to complete an online assessment. So it's approximately 1 hour. It will be a cognitive, emotify, personality type test. Pending how you go within that, you will then at the moment we are still doing virtual interviews. So it would be a virtual interview with 2 or 3 members from our delivery team. So people that you may be potentially working with or getting mentorship with in the future. So you will be interviewed by them on a more technical specific basis. So they'll be wanting to get a better understanding of what you did at uni and things like that. So then after that interview, you will then, again, pending how you go, potentially be offered a role in this. So if that happens, we will then send you the contract. Pending your acceptance, you will then be accepted. And when the start date happens, the first week will be a week with HR, inductions, onboardings, and all those types of things. Then the actual graduate program that will happen is we start off with a 10-week back to basics and IT training through the same training to get you guys all up to scratch and aligned with how Infosys works and things like that. So you'll go through a big back to basics and IT training, and then from there you'll be allocated to a client, a project, and a stream within IT to actually start the graduate program and working with clients and working on actual projects that we have going on at that time. There is no way for me to be able to confirm which stream, which industry, which client, because it is obviously so far in the future. Even once you have your contract, there's still no way for me to be able to tell you where you will be placed specifically. You will find out most likely after that back to basics and IT training program where you'll go and everything like that. But that's kind of what's exciting about it, is you will be moving around between multiple clients, multiple projects and things like that throughout your time in the graduate program, which will be really good for gaining good exposure and an understanding of where you would like to see your career go long term. So the graduate program goes for approximately 1.5 to 2 years, and once you have completed the graduate program, you will then be able to have obviously a lot more control over specifically which stream of IT and what industry and things like that you would like to work in a bit more. And then from there, you'll be able to, kickstart your long-term career. So that is the graduate program in a nutshell. So yeah, pretty much that's the main things I wanted to go through, but we do partner with many different, opportunities, and we are on quite a few top employer lists and things like that. So yeah, that's pretty much it. So I'm now going to leave it to you guys if you have any questions for me. Yeah, go for it. There's a few things in the chat.
Amanda, question I have is what sort of qualities do you look for in applicants in terms of GPA, student involvement, and of course there's a question as well, do you look at international students for any of your streams, or is it domestic and PR holders only?
So I'll start with the first question. We are looking for anybody who is eager and passionate about IT and really wants to expand their career. As long as you're a motivated, excited individual, that's all that really matters. You just need to be really passionate about where you're going and where you want to be, and just motivated and things like that. Regarding international students, it depends on the intakes. So we have, for graduates, taken those with 485s in the past. At this stage, we are focusing on PRs and citizens, but that most likely will change again in the future. The only thing with a 485 visa is you generally need around 20 months remaining on your visa to be deemed eligible, and that will be a contract role. Everyone else that's on a PR or citizenship, it is a permanent full-time position.
Thanks for that. Had a question in chat that just popped up. Bill, I'm actually going to invite you. I'm not sure if this is a question or a comment. If you wanted to unmute yourself and either clarify what you meant by maybe your working experience, or if it's already been answered, I'm happy to go to the next question.
Regarding the question, as in if you have work experience prior?
Yeah, if you could answer that, that'd be great. Yeah.
Okay, so you, to be eligible for the graduate program, if you have anywhere between 0 to 2 years worth of IT related experience, you are also eligible. There may be slight differences regarding salary, for example. If you do have prior IT experience, it does not, or if you have 0 IT experience, that's not going to really hinder the application process. If you do have more than 2 years experience, then you would generally be, a bit more qualified or senior versus a graduate. So if you're doing your master's, for example, and you've already been in the IT space for a few years, you most likely will be pushed to a more senior position. However, if you're fresh out of uni or just been doing side gigs or internships or anything, if you're below 2 years worth of working experience, then yes, you are eligible for the graduate program. So regarding your degree, so unfortunately, it is a very strict rule. You must be completed, like all university must be finished prior to starting with us. So You don't need to have your formal graduation certificate, but you do need to at least have your final transcripts with no pending subjects. If you do require an internship, for example, to be a part of your degree, we also do offer internships called the InStep program. You'll be able to find more information specifically about that on our website. However, that is separate to the graduate program.
Okay, thanks for that. Had a question from Jaysri. You may have already touched on this a bit, but any additional requirements for, I guess, the graduate role as a whole? Anything else that you think students here should know about?
Honestly, it's quite simple, if you will. Like, as long as you've done an IT, or not just IT, it's actually STEM, so anything science, technology, engineering, or mathematics. So if your degree is specific to one of those 4 spaces, you are deemed eligible for the role. The main ones obviously being no pending subjects and you finish your degree, or you have graduated since 2018. You are also deemed eligible. But other than that, as long as you pass the screening and all those types of things, you are eligible. So I would encourage everyone to apply if you feel that if you align with those. So just regarding the internship opportunity, take a look on our website. I don't have the specific email on me, but it's called InStep. So I'll just type it in the chat so you know how it's spelled. So type that in the website and you'll be able to find where the opportunities are specific for that. Regarding multiple projects and multiple industries, so correct, when you're in the graduate program, you will work within most likely multiple industries, multiple different clients, and multiple different projects. So some will be longer or shorter than others, and everything like that. So the only thing is, unfortunately, you don't get control over where you are placed within the graduate program. It is more about exposure, learning, and things like that.
Okay.
will.
Got a question from Awas. Don't know if you've seen that one yet. They graduate at the end of next year, 2023. What sort of skills can they develop now to give themselves an advantage over their final year? And is there anything you'd recommend that they do outside of uni to also upskill themselves for these grad roles?
There are obviously, working as like a job on the side regarding IT specific would be a great way to do extra. Doing internships as well, or just doing additional courses. So for example, Pega is an interesting additional skill that you could gain, or anything with Java or Python, things like that. So specific IT technologies you could really learn more about specifically, as we do have quite a big focus on Java and Python, in particularly with the graduate program. So they would be a good place to start.
Great, thank you. So I heard Java, Python, Pega as a few different computing or coding or other softwares that students should be aware of now. So that's great feedback. Thank you. I'll stop the recording now in case students want to ask questions but don't necessarily want to be recorded. Sometimes that helps people.